I'm back. At least for 1 month. So let's see what updates Google brought us for Google Workspace in June.
New viewer role in Google Meet. If you're using Google Meet for larger meetings like webinars or town halls, it helps if participants can't accidentally disrupt the meeting because they didn't disable their microphone or you don't want them to show up on the recording. Google has now introduced a viewer role for this purpose. In the meeting settings in Google Calendar, you can now define that all participants automatically get this role and thus cannot share their screen and cannot activate their microphone and camera. In the Google Meet itself, you can change the role at any time if you want the participants to interact. Support for whiteboard cameras on Google Meet hardware. Meeting formats like brainstorming work better for some teams on site with analog tools like Post-its than on purely digital whiteboards. However, team members who can't be on site are often left behind in the process. So-called whiteboard cameras that cleanly film the analog board can help. The Google Meet hardware now supports such a whiteboard camera with a Logitech Scribe. Enhanced picture-in-picture functions for Google Meet in Chrome. The picture-in-picture feature provides a great way to use Google Meet with just one monitor. Previously, however, this only allowed you to turn the microphone and camera on or off and exit Meet. Now you can also raise your hand, use the Meet chat, turn subtitles on and off, resize the view and use flexible layouts. More languages for subtitles and translations in Google Meet. Live subtitles help deaf people follow meetings. Google now additionally supports French Canadian, Indonesian, Polish, Romanian, Thai, Turkish and Vietnamese. Furthermore, there is a possibility to translate subtitles. English-speaking meetings can now be translated live into Dutch, Indonesian, Turkish and Vietnamese. Use polls or Q&As during Google Meet live streams. Especially large meetings such as town halls can be live streamed with Google Meet to reach all employees in large companies. Now it is also possible to use the Q&A and poll function in live streams to interact with the viewers. Background blur also in calls via virtual desktop. Some companies use a virtual desktop infrastructure. If you participate in a Google Meet via such a solution, you can now also use the background blur and automatic light adjustment. Note that this will only be visible after joining and not already in the preview before joining. Improved joining management in Google Meet. Google Meet can be set to require participants to submit join requests, which Meet hosts can then accept or reject. If it's a large meeting with many participants, the join request dialog box became very large and annoying. As a result, Google has now moved the join request to the right sidebar in the People tab. Enhanced onboarding experience in Google Chat. Small but sweet update. Google has added an improved onboarding to Google Chat. New colleagues visiting Google Chat for the first time in Gmail or via chat.google.com will now be guided in detail through the various chat options so they can successfully jump right into the corporate communication. Declutter your conversations in Google Chat. To provide better visibility in Google Chat, direct messages and group messages that have been inactive for more than 7 days will now be hidden. Pinned conversations are not affected. You can still find a complete list of all messages by clicking More. Smart Compose in Google Chat. Smart Compose uses machine learning to generate appropriate text suggestions that save you time and reduce possible spelling and grammar errors. Smart Compose has been available in Gmail and Docs for some time and can now also be used in Google Chat, but initially only in English, Spanish, Portuguese, French and Italian. Read receipts for group direct messages in Google Chat. In one-to-one messages in Google Chat, you can see if your message has already been viewed by the recipient. Now Google is extending this feature to group messages as well. See the top search results first in Gmail on mobile. Search is one area where Google is known to be very good. Now Google is improving search in Gmail on the smartphone. Using machine learning, Google takes into account more factors than just a search term and now shows you the best results for your query at the top of the search results, and all others sorted by recency below. Create custom building blocks in Google Docs. For some time now, there have been building blocks in Google Docs that are sort of templates for certain types of document content, such as meeting templates or project plans. However, these were predefined by Google. Now, Google allows you to save your own building blocks. This means you can save content from documents like text sections and tables or checklists that you need more often as a custom building block and then quickly and easily insert it into any document without having to copy and paste. Pretty cool in my opinion. Variable chips in Google Docs. Another cool feature Google is expanding are the so-called smart chips, which are small interactive elements you can insert into docs and sheets such as the date, contacts, locations, filings and more. The variable smart chips are new. These serve as placeholders, for example the name of a customer or companies, addresses, transaction numbers or other things. If you fill them in at one place, they will be updated at all other places in the documents where you have placed the variable chip. The best part is you can also use these variable chips with custom building blocks we just showed and build really cool templates for contracts or things like that. Third-party smart chips in Google Docs. And another update on smart chips. In addition to the smart chips already available from Google, third-party vendors can now develop and offer their own smart chips. To use them, you or an admin must first install them through the marketplace. If you then paste a link to, for example, a Jira ticket, you can directly see more information about it in Google Docs. Adding new capabilities to timeline view in Google Sheets. Some time ago, Google introduced a timeline view in Google Sheets. This way you can show projects, marketing campaigns or development work more clearly in a roadmap. Google has now added some features like text wrap or truncation, undo and redo options, as well as a collapsed map view and print and download support. New keyboard shortcuts in Google Sheets. Google extends the keyboard shortcuts in Google Sheets, for example for bold formatting, move to the next sheet and show the find and replace field. Smart chip data extraction in Google Sheets. We talked about smart chips a moment ago in Google Docs. For Google Sheets, there's now the ability to extract the metadata associated with smart chips in cells. For example, for documents, this can be data such as the creation date, modification date and owner, or for contacts, the email address. This data can then be further processed. More efficient response to Google Workspace file access requests. Currently, when users don't have access to a document and therefore submit an access request, everyone who can respond to that request only receives an email to accept or decline. What's new is that a notice will now appear directly in the document, indicating that there are one or more access requests to the document. These can then also be accepted or rejected directly in the document. New sorting feature in Google Drive. A new drop-down menu now lets you choose whether folders are displayed mixed with other files and documents, or whether folders are always displayed at the top. Preview. Improved mail merge with Gmail and Google Sheets. Last year, Google enabled personalized bulk emailing with Gmail. However, only the name could be personalized and the contacts had to be present in Google Contacts or copied into the recipient field. With the upcoming update in July, Google Sheets with up to 1,500 rows will also be accepted as a data source, and each column can be used as a personalized bulk mail tag. This may eliminate the need for an extra newsletter tool. Finally, a tip of the month. Do you already know the checklist function in Google Docs? You can easily create checklists in Google Docs, for example to create a packing list, to-do list or something similar. The coolest thing is that you can also assign the individual to-dos to people and give them a date. These to-dos then automatically appear in the Google Tasks and, if activated, in the Google Calendar of the assigned person. If the person then checks them off there as done, this is in turn also automatically displayed in the doc as done. By default, checked off items are crossed out. If you want to treat the checkbox more like a yes/no field, you can also use the little arrow to specify that checked items are not crossed out. If you enjoyed the video and don't want to miss any more Google Workspace updates, subscribe to our new channel that's all about Google Workspace and the Google Cloud.